today is the day right before Shabbat. So we have Shabbat prep. Now, for all of you all who don't know what Shabbat is the seventh day, where if you read the word, it states that we are supposed to keep the seventh day set apart, or holy, but we say set apart. In order to keep it set apart, we follow the guidelines into not cooking on that day, getting into the word, fellowshipping, learning about Yahuwah Elohim, or the Most High, learning about His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and letting the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit, again, or the set apart Spirit, guide us and lead us into all truth. So, the question is do you fast on that day? Well, we're not too sure about that, but we do know you're not supposed to cook. So what we do is we cook the day before, Friday. So we do all of our prepping Friday, and then Friday evening to Saturday evening will be Shabbat. So we have a lot of cooking to do. We're gonna see if we can get everything done. What's on the menu for today? We're gonna try this potato casserole. I'm not even too sure what it's called. It reminds me of ratatouille, where you chop the thin slices of the vegetables super thin and then you have a sauce. It's kind of similar to that, except we have potatoes. So we're gonna do that potatoes, and we're having marinara sauce with mushrooms spread all the way throughout. So that will be good. Mushrooms, and probably sprinkle some more kale or some other vegetable. So that'll be our potato casserole we set to the side. We're then gonna mix up our batter for our waffles. Waffles! Love waffles. Then we're gonna do the Belgian waffles in the Belgian waffle cooker. And of course, we are going to be doing macaroni and cheese, again inspired by Darius Williams. So I'm not too sure, Darius, if you will ever see this. And we are definitely not claiming that it is good as our macaroni and cheese is as good as yours. It's inspired by what we saw you do in terms of your flavors of the cheese and your methods. We don't do the sauce, so we're gonna try we're doing a roux cheese sauce, pouring that over the macaroni, then putting it into the oven. I'm excited. I'm high-key excited. But we gotta get everything ready for it. So those are our 3 heavy hitters. We have a lot of snacks. We have a lot of crackers and hummus, and we have celery. It's gonna be great. And of course, like everything, it's all organic, all non-GMO. In terms of the cheese, it's vegetarian rennet. You know we gotta look out in terms of what is actually in our food. So if you do see this, the items that we use, we have diligently looked into these items to make sure that there's no soy lectin in it, or make sure that there's no aspartame or MSG or high fructose corn syrup, or making sure that it is organic, it is non-GMO, making sure that the sugar used is organic, or specifically stating a specific company that doesn't use bone char methods in terms of purifying their sugar. Yeah. It's a lot that goes into our food, y'all. But I digress. Let's get to making some stuff. Come join us for the ride and try it out. Let us know if you try out any of these things that we're gonna be whipping up today. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah Elohim. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get to it.
Alright, so what we're doing first is, of course, greasing the pan. Now in this pan, we're gonna do that potato casserole thing that I was talking to you about. This is an experiment. This is an experiment, okay? So not really sure what the heck we were doing. What I was doing. But what you want to do is slice up the potatoes in those really thin slices. Now I have to admit, I'm going to take you through what we did here, but I did not like this. I did not like this at all. I thought it was I just did not like this. Now, why am I still showing this to you? Well, because maybe you'll like it. Or maybe you'll understand a method, or you can see kind of where I went wrong. So what we're going to do, or here's what went through this process in terms of this potato dish that we were telling you about. That was thinly sliced. So we're putting the marinara into the blender because this is gonna be the base for the sauce, and it's gonna act like a layering technique. That's what I was trying to go for. I know. This is clean eat. So this food is, it's clean. You can eat it. But we all make mistakes. I don't want to just show you all the good. Gotta show you the bad and the ugly too sometimes. Even if I don't want to. But it's a good learning process. And it reminds me not to ever do that again. Or at least not the same way. Now, the ingredients that are used are really good, wholesome ingredients. So those were mushrooms that you saw us putting in there. And they had some good flavor. The main thing that I did not like is that the potatoes turned brown. Everything tasted fine, but the potatoes turned brown, and I wasn't too sure why it turned so brown in the casserole. Now what you see is that's that's an heirloom tomato that we used in order to increase the nutritional value. We're putting those in as well. Because it's a lot of potatoes, and it's a deep dish as you saw before. Kind of want to make sure it has enough coating. But the main problem, and please put in the comment description what you all perceive could fix this problem, was that the potatoes turned brown. And because the potatoes turned brown, it just did not look good at all. And I was like, no. But the sauce was pretty tasty. But I was like, no. Anyway, what's going into the sauce that I was telling you about was that green onions that you saw. And of course, the organic non-salt seasoning. That stuff makes everything taste great. Well, that's what the whole entire mixture is looking like. It's very fresh. You blend it up. I think that would be probably good to go on some type of pasta. I think that'd be a good pasta sauce actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You willing, maybe we'll try some of that pasta sauce. And we're just adding some chicken broth for some flavor. But you're gonna see how the layering process goes. Oh, sorry, vegetable broth. Low sodium, organic vegetable broth. Now you're gonna see the seasonings that we use. So that was salt. And that's some good old fashioned pepper. Good old fashioned pepper. But yeah, so as I'm taking you through the seasonings, one thing that I remember seeing that I didn't do is that when folks make that ratatouille dish, I did see that many put parchment paper or some sort of paper on top of the casserole, which prevents, I assume, the vegetables from discoloring, which that's what happened in my case. The potatoes got all discolored, and it looked like it was so sad, just so sad. Don't get me wrong, we ate it, it was good. In terms of that, we ain't gonna leave it there. We ate it. But it just looked so sad. And I was like, no, I don't want to make this again until you who are willing, that problem can be solved. Because you want to make sure if you're doing something that it turns out right. But yeah, please put in the description box if, as you're watching this video, you kind of can see where some mistakes that I may have went wrong. Definitely not saying that I have all the answers, y'all. Definitely not saying that. Okay, so this is what the sauce looks like. And as I said, or as you saw me mouth in the camera, we're going to try to layer this. So here's what I mean. We're going to pour a layer of the sauce, right? And then we're going to lay it with the potatoes. So it makes like I said before, kind of like a potato casserole. I also think perhaps this would be better in the oven rather than the slow cooker. Or if you do it in a slow cooker, keep the slow cooker on kind of all night until it's ready, until the potatoes are nice and tender. Of course, if you do that, also I think maybe you do want to put the parchment paper on there. I'm not too sure how to make the potatoes not brown. How do you make the potatoes not brown, y'all? I know you can dust it or sprinkle it with some lemon juice, but even then, I'm like, I don't know. But okay, so here, let me take you through the layering method. So this is what I'm doing, layering the sauce. So that's the sauce right there. And it's not like a too thick layer because that's going to be spread all around. Take your spoon and spread it, spread it, spread it. Spread it, spread it, spread it. Spread it. Spread it. You want to try to get even coverage because the sauce came out pretty good. There it is. Kind of reminds me also of a pizza sauce. It's also maybe good as a pizza sauce, but folks may not like the mushrooms that were blended up in here. Then do a light layering of the organic non-salt seasoning. Yes, you all, I know. Again? Yes, again. Then after you do the organic non-salt seasoning, you want to do a few other seasonings just to... I like doing layers of flavor. Even if it's in a pasta dish, I like seasoning the noodles just the way that I season the sauce. It just adds different layers of flavor without putting salt. So that's turmeric, and turmeric's very healthy for you. But one thing that you want to do that I didn't do here is try not to cook turmeric, because when you cook, it kind of loses a lot of its nutritional value. But it does taste good also. So after that, you're going to see us layer this puppy again with those thinly sliced potatoes that we used via the mandolin. And if you saw our earlier video regarding our stuffed cheeseburgers, this is what was used. So it doesn't look too bad here. You're like, oh yeah, you know, layered potatoes, okay, for sure. I'm just saying, y'all, those thin slices turned brown and they looked very sick. like not like sick, like, oh, it's like the potatoes are sick, like but I digress. Okay, now moving away from the not so good part to the good part. Here what we're doing is we're making actually little muffin slash cupcakes, but just out of bananas. It was a recipe that we saw on Pinterest. So all praise to the Most High Yahuwah Elohim, and these came out very tasty. They were gone before Shabbat night ended, and I was hoping that they would kind of last until the end of Shabbat, or at least until the day, but they didn't. So all praise to the Most High after that. So what is used is peanut butter, scoop, an egg, a banana, and another scoop of peanut butter. I really like peanut butter. Do you all like peanut butter? I used to have peanut butter sandwiches all the time when I was like small. Okay, maybe 3 scoops of peanut butter. Oh man. Alright. Of course, that's vanilla extract. I really like vanilla. So I'm sure some folks were like, oh, that was a lot of vanilla. Nah, that's not a lot of vanilla. A little bit of salt. Very little. Now what this is I believe that was my arrowroot powder, which acts as a form of a baking powder. I don't like to use too many things that I don't know what it is. And I don't necessarily know what baking powder consists of. So that was as you saw, a half a teaspoon of the arrowroot powder. And those were what the cupcakes looked like. Now, to the best dish is macaroni and cheese. Oh, hallelujah. Alright, so macaroni and cheese, these are all the cheeses that we're using here. And of course, as you see, vegetable rennet. And this is cream cheese. It also has the kosher symbol at the end. Now, at first I couldn't find where the kosher symbol was, but if you watch the earlier video in terms of the stuffed cheeseburgers, you'll see that same U and D also on the cream cheese that I just held up there, because it was exactly cream cheese. So here's what we're going to try. We're trying Darius's method. It was a bit new for us. We usually just grate up the cheese really finely, put the cheese in the noodles, and add some milk when needed, and then stir. But his method was a little bit different. So of course, boil your noodles, and as I alluded to earlier, try to season your macaroni and cheese noodles with the seasoning that you're going to be using for the sauce. So those are the 4 seasonings that we're going to be using for the sauce primarily, and a touch of turmeric. I like using it for the color, also again as in for nutritional value. As always, coconut oil is going to be layering the pans and being cooked with in terms of boiling the pasta and doing the sauce. and even coating the pan once the pasta and the sauce are finished. So after you're finished boiling the pasta, what you're going to do, oh, there's the pasta. What you're going to do is also make a roux, and I'm gonna take you through the roux process. Woo! Look at that pasta. This is why you put oil and stuff. But don't worry, you will, and it'll come back. It'll come back. Ooh, look at it. It's all steamy. Anyway, I digress. So if you don't put enough oil, you're gonna need to bring it back to life. There it is. Slowly but surely. There it goes. There it goes. There it is. So what you want to do is once after that, you're gonna want to make that roux. How you make a roux is oil and flour. Once you stir the oil and flour until all of the taste of the oil, or excuse me, all the taste of the flour is cooked away, then you're going to begin pouring a little bit of water to cook that roux. That's how you typically make a roux. But what we're doing is a bit of cheese sauce. So to that standard, you're also going to be adding those cheeses and melting those cheeses down into a sauce. Of course, you're going to be using, milk and all of these sorts of things, and Yoo-Hoo Willen will take you through that process particularly. Now, what we're doing here is, as I stated before, seasoning the noodles, because we want to add layers of flavor. So that way, if, for example, I just like adding layers of flavor, because sometimes you don't want to rely on the sauce. You want to have the sauce be, of course, good and full of flavor, but something's missing. If the noodles aren't flavored, then it loses that dynamic to me. That's just my opinion, but that's how I perceive it to be. And there's some more coconut oil, because it was starting to get a little dry, as you can see, a little dry and hard to kind of stir there. So if that does happen to you, add a little bit of oil. You'll be surprised what a little bit of oil can do. Okay, so just continue to stir that there as you're warming up that cheese slowly but surely on that stove. Oof. Still steaming. Like, man. There we go. There we go. One thing that Darius did use that I don't usually use was that cayenne. And when I first saw that, I was like, cayenne in macaroni and cheese? I was highly confused. But what we do is we usually would add a bit of Tabasco. So when you think about it, oh, okay, cayenne, Tabasco, something spicy, just to kick it up just a notch. But so that was the cheese that was melting on the stove there. See how it's all nice and gooey and melted nice and slowly? Now, the flour and the oil mixture when you do the roux is also good for a thickener, so that'll help thicken up the sauce there. And that is the cheese that's been melted down with good old milk and all those sorts of things. Only a dab though, because for me, I wanted mostly cheese. Cheesy goodness, that was so good. Look at all of that. Now I have to admit, we don't eat cheese anymore, or at least we try not to. There it is, and now the pasta looks a lot happier. I'm sure you all can agree. I know y'all were thinking for a second, girl, you didn't put even enough oil in it to make the pasta loose. There it is. Pasta looks all nice and happy. And I'm happy too. There it is. But I have to admit that cheese sauce also reminded me of Outback Steakhouse cheese sauce. Not in terms of the taste, because it tastes totally different. It tastes good, but different, That's a white cheese sauce, and this is a yellow cheese sauce. But we don't usually do macaroni and cheese with the cheese sauce. So this was a good way to experiment with your, standard macaroni and cheese. Now, what's going to be done after this is we're patting down the noodles so that way we can create a flat layer. Now, this flat layer is needed because we're going to layer some cheese on top and then allow it to kind of brown in the oven. And there we go layering. Now, if memory serves, we are going to do a like layer it one way and then we're going to cross it over, so a crisscross layer. I was trying to think of that word. I was like, what is the word? Crisscross layer. There it is. You all have no idea. One of the key things, though, that I have to admit that made this macaroni and cheese for me just really yummy is that no salt seasoning. I'm telling you all, if it be Abiya's will and you see that, get it, please, and then you all can try it and understand what on earth I keep on ranting and raving about. That stuff is yummy. In fact, look, it's about to be Shabbat and I'm about to use that again. Alright, so that's what the muffins look like. They were very tasty. Very tasty muffins. Those were the biscuits that Mama made, or that we made, the herb rolls, in the video. Actually, one of the videos long before then, so you can see how long it's been since we've done this. But here's the hummus. These are individually packaged hummus. Of course, it's organic and kosher. Oh, those hummus are so good. Hummus is so good. And or organic pita chips. You all know how hard it is to find organic pita chips. It's hard. But all praise the Most High Yah. Those are organic pita chips. And see, that, my friends, that is the macaroni and cheese. Do you see that? Do you see that? Now, I have to admit, I did add some seasoning on top of the cheese once I laid it down. Kind of similar to what I did on the potatoes. Now, see, look at that. Oh man. Man, oh man. It's been a while. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. I'm just watching this and I'm like, I wish we had some more in the freezer. And that's what it looks like on a plate after it's been scooped out. So you who will, and you're going to see me try this. You're not going to see me try the potato thing. Because it was a fail. I have to admit. It was a fail. I like the sauce, but that thing was a fail. So you're not going to see me try it. But we also did barbecue beans along with the macaroni and cheese. And I think we added some mushrooms into that. Did we? Oh no, I'm sorry. It's kidney beans and pinto beans. Oh, there's the mushrooms. Yeah. We did add mushrooms to that. Second guessing myself. There it is. Now wait, do I show you the potato thing? I think I do show you the potato thing. Do I? No, I show you the Kinder sauce. Kinder barbecue sauce. This stuff is good. It's organic as well. The organic pita chips and the organic Kinder sauce we did get at Costco. But if memory serves, I believe that you also can find this on Google. Oh, and this is a biscuit and gravy casserole that we had on Thursday. So what we did is right now, that's the cold version. So we heated this back up in order to make sure that we had some breakfast for Shabbat. Now this is me eating. Look at that. Oh, it's so cheesy. It's so good. So good. So you who willing, give it a try. Try the macaroni and cheese. Try the little cupcake things. Try even the barbecue beans. Although that's simple. That's just dumping some beans in the crock pot with some barbecue sauce. One thing that I would say don't try would be the potato casserole. But again, I did want to get y'all's opinion. What did you perceive went wrong with the potato casserole? Because I just can't seem to think of it. But alright, that's our Shabbat prep for now. Yahuwah bless you all. Love you all. See you all later. Shalom.